Small town police chief suspends the Second Amendment. KAMALA gets caught with a deceptive campaign ad. Tim WALZ'S wife has crazy eyes. This is The Loaded Mic, and I'm Dan Was. According to a public notice announcement, a local state of emergency in the city of Okeechobee, Florida, Chief of Police Donald C. Hagan II has declared that the Second Amendment be suspended indefinitely due to Hurricane Helene. Now, the notice put on the ban in place for September 26th and September 27th, but allowed an extension based on operational conditions. It would appear Chief Hagan has decided that he knows best for everyone in the city, and he'll decide what rights the citizens have. The ban included the sale of any firearms or ammunition, the intentional display by any gun shops of any ammunition or guns, and the possession in a public place of a firearm by any person other than authorized law enforcement. Well, as you would expect, the ordinance was illegal, and the gun rights group Florida Carry sent a letter to the city council and Chief Hagan with the warning that they violated Florida's powerful preemption statute, which only allows the state legislature to regulate firearms. Now, Florida Carry also reminded Hagan that any public official who violates the preemption statute can be removed from office and personally fined up to $5,000. Florida Carry General Counsel Eric Friday also demanded a fee of $30,000 from the Florida Tyrants for damages and attorney fees to resolve the matter prior to litigation. This is why I like these Florida Carry guys. But who the hell does this Chief Hagan think he is? For more Second Amendment content, please check out my Good Gun, Bad Guy book series at goodgunbadguy.com. Now, we're going to talk about this Florida situation and many other things with experiencing his enlightening wisdom is like a breath of fresh air after driving by a landfill with the windows down, John Chiara. He's really not a bad guy, and he's not that political. He just hates stupid people. Anthony Diesel.
You're all stupid. Liberals.
All right, so just the liberals, right?
Just the liberals.
So this guy, chief of police, he decides in Okeechobee. Oh God, boy, I sure hope I'm saying that. Okeechobee.
Who
cares?
Okeechobee.
Okeechobee.
Obi-Wan
What did you say?
Kenobi.
I think you just probably got it right. Okeechobee.
Okeechobee.
Maybe it's-
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I don't know what it
Let's
is.
check the comments.
We'll check the comments. If anybody knows how to pronounce it, if you can explain. Anyway. So anyway, this chief of police decides that he's going to suspend the Second Amendment because, well, they have a situation from the flood. What do you think?
I guess all the criminals are going to stop doing whatever they're doing
Yeah.
because of the flood, right?
What's the water have to do with your gun?
Remember what they did in where was it? Where the levee broke?
Louisiana.
Louisiana, yeah. They did the same thing. So you have this tragedy where people, their homes are underwater. There's looting. All people are robbing houses, and everybody is like in a mess. And the government's telling you you can't protect yourself? Are
Leave
you
your
kidding
gun
me?
behind.
Unreal.
That's stupid.
I would never in a million years pay any attention to that ordinance.
Hopefully they remove him from office.
Yeah, well, these guys from Florida Carry, I like these guys. I know a lot of them. As a matter of fact, I'll be hopefully seeing some of them, part of their group in January down in Florida. But these guys from Florida Carry, they're freedom fighters. They support the Second Amendment, and they're no compromise guys down there. They want their Second Amendment, and I'll blame them. But this guy, this chief of police, hopefully, they say he can be personally removed from office and fined up to $5,000. And Florida Carry demanded $30,000 from him.
Good. They should take him out of office, fine him, and send him on his way.
It's just they're crazy. And the preemption law, just so people know what the preemption is, I got it right here, the definition is a doctrine in constitutional law that applies when two authorities conflict with another. It refers to the idea that a higher authority of law will displace the law of a lower authority of law when the two authorities come into conflict. Federal law is the highest authority, therefore federal law supersedes or supplants any state or local regulation or statute that conflicts it. So that means that this guy, this chief of police, can't just suspend the Constitution in his town.
It's like a mini Hochul.
It's unbelievable.
Just disregard what they say.
Yeah, disregard the Constitution, our 250 years of freedom, the Revolutionary War, the fact that we defeated the Brits and we declared our freedom and our independence. Just for the town of Okeechobee, I can't still get
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
For our town, forget it. It doesn't. None of it matters.
Somebody's robbing your house. Gotta leave the gun in the safe. Can't
the
take
arrogance of these people
Give
is.
them whatever they want. Well, they're looting down in North Carolina, so that's what dirtbags do anyway.
Are they doing that now?
Of course they are.
Of course they are. This is what dirtbags do. In a tragedy,
Yeah, they take advantage.
Dirtbags will loot. And if any of you dirtbags from North Carolina who are looting are listening, you're a dirtbag.
You're a dirtbag. That's our answer.
You should be helping your fellow man, not robbing him.
Well, hopefully everybody is armed and can protect their families and their houses. I don't see any other way. The way the crime is today in America is just there's no other way than to be able to protect
According
yourself.
to liberals, there's no crime. It's real low.
No crime.
No crime.
Even among the immigrants, no crime.
No, they're great people.
And they do everything they can to restrict our ability to protect ourselves too.
Mm-hmm.
Like look at this, the semi-automatic bans. They want to ban semi-automatic rifles. Why? Are they more shootier than another gun? I mean, it's just so ridiculous. But in some states, you know, they do have semi-auto bans, certain travel restrictions and stuff like that. So I wanted to get to one of our sponsors real quick because I think people will be interested in this. This is the Cali key, and this device removes your AR from the definition of so-called assault weapon. Did you know that when so-called assault weapon ban lists are created, they exclude manually operated bolt-action firearms? So just by dropping this Cali key, this device right here over my shoulder, into your direct impingement AR in place of your semi-automatic BCG, you'll have a bolt-action rifle that falls outside the definition of an assault weapon. That's all you have to do. So give the Cali key a look because with it, you could retain all your rifle's features, avoid registration complications, revive your black rifle sales if you're an FFL, regain the ability to do private party transfers, legally transport across hostile jurisdictions, hunt with your AR in areas like Pennsylvania, and enhance long-range precision and quieter suppressed shooting. So the Cali Key has state-specific expert attorney opinions on its website and supports grassroots Second Amendment organizations with its sales. Cali Key's mission is to empower customers and claw back our civil liberties. So go to CaliKey.com and use the discount code LOADED. So, fellas, anything else on this Florida chief of police?
Obi-Wan and out.
So, I want to get to John's girl, KAMALA.
What's she doing these days?
Well, it would appear
She's being tough at the border.
it would appear that the Harris campaign is desperate to find Trump detractors. So it's always a great story when one political candidate can find people leaving their opponent and joining their team. And unfortunately, the only people switching teams for KAMALA are Democrats. So what's a good wannabe liar-in-chief to do? Make up and spread the lie to the nation. Well, she got caught. Watch this clip.
Harris and Tim Walz have been accused of deliberate misinformation. They've released a political ad that claims to depict two former Trump voters who live in Pennsylvania and who have switched to Team KAMALA after the horrors of January 6th. But this pair of farmers shown in the ad appear to in fact be two actors, Robert Lang and Christina Chadwick, and they have an extensive history of Kochel of donating to the Democrats and leftist causes dating back to at least 2016. For a party that talks endlessly about the dangers of disinformation and misinformation, they engage in plenty of it.
They couldn't find Republican detractors, so they had to make them up. They're actors.
And people still vote for this idiot.
I don't get it. Go ahead.
It's nuts. Well, didn't they have problems finding Harris supporters? They went to all these restaurants or something, and they could only find one or two people. They couldn't find hardly anybody in all the places they went to look for them and stuff.
So what? So what is this looking like right now? Is this familiar to anybody? What's going on right now? No interviews.
Yeah.
No hard campaigning.
Right. Like Biden in his basement.
It's 2020 all over again. They're going to cheat again.
Well, yeah.
They're gonna cheat.
They are going to absolutely cheat again.
So
And if we allow this to happen, it's pathetic.
the Republican campaign and the Republican committee, the big GOP, fingers crossed, they have things in place to prevent the cheating at the polls. So, according to Lara Trump and her chairman of the I think she's vice of the Republican committee now, and then she's got a chairman, and they said that they've got attorneys that are going to be at the polling places, and they've got poll watchers all over the country. Now, is their system good? I don't know.
Why can't ballots have barcodes in your ID? Simple, right?
What are you, racist?
Oh, that's right. Black people can't get license. They can't get IDs.
According to Democrats, they
According
can't.
to Democrats, they're too stupid to get IDs. That's what he said.
I know.
They still vote for him. It's that free money, man. It's that free money.
Well, that's what a lot.
They need that money.
I mean, I've heard some people go through some lists of things, all the things Harris is talking about, and
What'd she talk
I
about?
started listening to a new podcast yesterday.
Well, she was born in a middle-class family.
Yeah, right. That
And I
mansion
heard
she
her-
grew up in,
I-
right? Her mom was a doctor and her father was a professor.
It was just so funny. Oh, John, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt John. Go ahead.
I got distracted. Now I forgot.
Well, she was talking about, John's thinking about that. She was talking of, she was asked the question, what do you plan on doing about the economy? You've been here for 3 years.
Nothing.
What are you going to do to fix it?
Well,
I grew up.
What the hell does that have to do with anything? You said you started a new podcast.
I heard two other women arguing on a podcast, and somebody interrupted the woman who was spewing Kamala's stuff, and she goes, "As a woman, I'm offended that you keep interrupting me." I'm like, as a woman, I was born in a middle class family. We can get a whole list of these things. Plus, by the way, I just heard this morning, I heard Mark Cuban on a CNBC
What happened to him?
interview literally calling Trump a socialist. He called Trump a socialist.
See, Mark Cuban is a D-bag. He's a rich elite garbage can who has no idea how anything works. Like he doesn't know how real life is. He doesn't.
I used to actually like Mark
I
Cuban.
did
I watched
too.
the show. I liked the
Right.
guy. He seemed like he knew what he was talking about. He was funny. He had a little bit of an
he's
attitude.
always been a D-bag his whole life.
And then, you
But
know
to
what?
call someone a socialist,
How did he go so far left like that? And just dig his heels in when he knows better. He knows better on economics.
something
He
must be
knows
going
better on capitalism, on business, on profit and loss. He knows
and
better.
how do you support somebody who's going to tax you 44%? How? How do you support a group who wants to take 44% of your money that you earn? How?
I replied to one of his.
That's what I want to ask.
I replied to one of his posts on Twitter or something, and he liked the post, which was strange because I was basically saying, how can you justify a $25,000 advancement or just a gift to people for first-time home buyers when you know what that's going to do? It's going to, first of all, raise the price of all houses by $25,000.
Didn't we do that back in they did that before, right? Didn't Bush do that, or who did that before? Clinton, where they gave everybody, all the subprime loans and stuff and all the crap we had going on. The whole industry.
Anybody could get a loan back then. So what the problem was is when you do that, people who wouldn't normally be able to buy a house, now they can because they relax the standards of entry. In other words, credit score and work experience, money to income to debt ratio and all that stuff. And then they give them $25,000. But the problem with that is, it's great that people can buy a home now, and that's a great thing.
Can't afford it.
But if you can't afford it, you're not going to keep it. So what happens then is that in 2008, the houses, when they were all on these variable interest rate loans. So you start off with a low interest rate.
When they go to 5 or 6, and they couldn't afford it.
And they couldn't afford it, and they couldn't make their payments, so the banks were taking back the houses. But it all kind of happened at once, and the banks were taking back all these houses at once. And that's when the market it imploded. And it was good for some people because you could go in, you could buy houses from the bank.
Slumlords.
Right, exactly. So, but it hurt the market. Now, what she's doing is she's giving people $25,000 so they can get into a house without anything down, which you can do anyway. A first-time home buyer live-ins can get it for 3% down, which is not much. If you were buying a $300,000 house and you can't afford to put the 3%, was that $9,000? If you can't afford to put $9,000, you shouldn't be buying the house, right? Exactly. So. And that's like part of the entry. It's already so low that it's almost dangerous. But to give them now $25,000, now that down payment's covered, and now they're probably a lot of the banks are going to relax the requirements, like I said.
Plus, isn't it limited to the people whose parents don't own a home? That's
Yeah.
one of the stipulations.
Yes.
So it's almost like half of that's probably going to go to immigrants, right?
That's another
Because
thing, yeah.
most
So if your
people-
parents own a home, then you can't do it. And you have to be first-time home buyer, so you can't have already owned a home, which is immigrants, right? And your parents, the parents are probably back in wherever, Mexico or wherever they are, so that they qualify there. But most Americans won't qualify. Tell me one person who would be a potential home buyer, first-time home buyer, whose parents don't own a home. Right?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
Well,
setting.
plus, now you get the taxes on unrealized capital gains. That's punishing the parents that do own a home. So this is all piling up to destroy the whole.
Oh, imagine if she gets in and you try to sell your house, she's going to take half your money.
That's
God, you might
it's like
just
a death
you must
tax.
just burn it down.
Stupid.
25.
sell your
Imagine
home to
taking
pay
even
the
25% of the sale of your house to the government. So you sell a house for what, $300,000? That's what, $60,000. Poof, it's gone.
Yeah.
And what if you owe more than the $60,000 you owe the government? Right? Say you
Go to debtor's prison.
then you're done. You're in debt. You're in debt with the government.
I wonder how that would work. Yeah, because if you own,
Say you sold the house for $300,000 and you owed $240,000 on it.
that's $60,000 of equity.
So now whatever you had equity is gone to the government. So you made nothing on the house you just sold.
well, that equity, she's saying you would have to pay, you'd have to pay capital gain, or you have to pay tax. Well, that's if you sell. If you sell it, yes, you do have to pay tax on the.
About unrealized.
We're talking
gains.
about
if your
unreal.
value of your house goes up, they're going to increase your taxes. Like, how does that work?
Yeah,
Oh, the cities will love that.
but you can take that. You can take that money that you make from a sale, and if you put it into another piece of real estate, you don't get taxed. Typically, you wouldn't get taxed on it. But what she wants to do is, if your house is, you bought it for $300,000 last year, and now this year it's up to $400,000 in value. Now you have to pay tax on that $100,000, and you didn't even sell the house.
Pay taxes on money you don't have. That's good.
So
Pay
you,
tax-
you owe her $25,000. So there's the $25,000 that goes to the person buying the house. See?
Oh God!
Looks like a big bad setup to me.
Oh, yeah. But liberals don't care. They don't care. They think everything's free.
Dirtbags.
Nothing's free.
LifeWave is a non-traditional transdermal patch that allows your body to produce its own natural pharmacy through light energy. Now, the X30 patch tells your body to emit heat in the form of light, which reflects back into your body, elevating a certain copper peptide. Now, this peptide activates your stem cells, which are the only type that can move throughout your body to heal inflammation. LifeWave offers an affordable membership and has a history of wellness that spans 20 years. It's been around since 2004 to help organizations like SEAL Team 6 and the Olympic swim team stay awake and alert. Today, these non-addictive patches are used by thousands of athletes and military professionals. LifeWave is available in over 80 countries, giving millions the opportunity of maximum wellness. So for more information, testimonials, patents, and studies, go to justpatch.biz. All right. So anything else on... We got off onto real estate, didn't we?
Well, a lot of people own houses, right? What if you're retired? That's your money. That's your equity. That's your whole thing for a lot of people.
And a lot of people
they lose their
borrow
houses.
on their house.
Sure.
Yeah, so let's look at that. So let's say you have a house that was $300,000. You took a home equity line for 80% of the equity. So now you took an equity line of 80. So now you're in debt to that house for $380,000, but the value went up to $400,000. Do you have to pay tax on
no.
that
That's something to look into.
$100,000? Because you took a home equity line out of $80,000.
Right.
And you used it for whatever, home improvements or whatever. So I would think, so now you could be upside down.
Right. By doing nothing.
By doing nothing. So if you took $80,000 equity and they want to tax you, what are they taxing you? 25%?
25%.
So yeah. So you're getting taxed 5% on that $400,000 value. And so now you're 5% upside down.
To sell your house to pay the taxes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Boy, I sure hope that oh my God.
Then it's available to some first-time home. Get $25,000.
And then she wants to hit, super rich people. What 44%?
I don't know.
But imagine. But then the liberals. You try to explain this to the stupid people. They're like, "Oh, nothing's going to happen." I'm like, idiot. Who runs the world? Billionaires, rich people. Who do you think employs your stupid idiot self? Rich people who own corporations. Who's going to get hit with it? I said, tell them, do you ever hear of the trickle-down effect? Because you know what trickles down to?
You.
The garbage can at the bottom, and that's you.
That's you.
Well, I don't know about that.
Hey,
that's how it works, stupid. It's economics 101. If you're taxing the high rich, they're going to raise their prices to the people who are buying it.
Of course.
I mean, it's common sense, people.
Well,
I know they don't teach anything in school anymore, but
businesses have to have a profit margin, or there's
exactly.
no reason to be in
but
business.
If they're getting hit with 44%.
Well, and then we got price controls on top of that she's talking about.
Yeah.
You can only charge this much money for the product.
That's communism.
So that's
of what else happens.
That's her squeezing the businesses.
Oh,
because she's getting them on. She's going to get them on both ends. She's going to say, okay,
44%. 40%. Then I'm going to tell you can't sell your product for more than this.
Right. So she's trying to squeeze them.
That's who you want to squeeze. People that are creating everything. You want to squeeze them.
Right. You want to squeeze the people who run the world. That's real smart, stupid. There's no way that woman got a law degree.
Out there, driveway sealers, crematoriums.
Before we go to break, I want to get to. I think it's time for a woke patrol.
Woke patrol.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
All right, so this next clip is a fine line between woke and just plain insane. Besides the fact that Tim Walz's wife clearly has Trump derangement syndrome, it would appear she needs a straitjacket and a padded room. Not sure what's wrong with her, but check this out, and you decide if this looks normal to you.
Open the window. I want to smell the tires burning.
Is she a lunatic?
She's nuts. They're all mental. This is a woman who stood by her window and said, "Honey, open the window. I want to smell the tires burning from her town that's burning." This is sick people.
But there are people who want to vote for him and Kamala.
Because they're morons in her state.
We're all going to watch the debate tonight?
Oh, I'm definitely watching. Yeah.
You should have a party at your house, dance, snacks, and stuff. You know.
Yeah, well, we should have a party here at the studio some night, too. Maybe have a big Christmas party and have everybody over watching.
Do we have actual TV here?
We have TVs everywhere.
I mean, do we have
Oh, yeah, we can get...
access to channels and stuff, or no?
We're very high-tech over here. We can get all sorts of stuff.
House and controlled.
Yeah, but I don't know. I saw that, and I was like, what the hell
She's
is wrong
crazy.
with her?
No, Tampon Tim's too much, too. Can't handle him.
Oh, and there's still people that I know. A lot of audio guys are left-wing guys for some reason, and they're like, oh, Trump exaggerates about this and about that, and how many lies does he tell and everything else? And I'm like, and look at what they're doing. Look at the crazy stuff that's going on. That actually matters. If Trump exaggerates about the size of his crowd at a rally, I don't care.
Right.
What do I care? It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything.
And
He's already been president. We already know what he's going to do.
Right.
I love how they say he wants to be a dictator. Don't you think you would have tried that the first time?
Yeah.
Well, no, he says just one day the cops acting violent would wipe out crime. Did you hear that? So people are going, oh, what's he talking about? I go, he's making a point, you dummy.
They take everything literally. Whatever he says, they take it literal.
These are the people that get conned in all kinds of stuff. They're so gullible. So that's what I keep telling my friends. I go, are you 12? You'll believe anything anybody tells you. But I saw some list today on social media about, this is what Democrats are and this is what Republicans are. And I'm like, Republicans foster hate. I go, I don't see any hate. All my right-wing friends, they don't hate anybody. They're just wondering if you're nuts, but they don't hate you. Every time I see a left-wing person on TV, it's always about condemning somebody else for what they're doing. Every time.
It's kind of cute how they don't understand what projection is.
Not at all. They don't have mirrors in their houses. When
If
we
they
have a campaign.
if they looked up projection and understood what it was, they would realize that for their whole life they've been using projection, and now they've been using it on Republicans by saying all these things. Oh, Republicans are hateful and racist and
They're in a cult.
right, and all this stuff. But the truth is what they're doing is they're projecting their own thoughts onto other people, and they don't even realize they're doing it.
And they believe everything the media tells them.
They're stuck. They're already over the hump. They're not going
Like I heard this one idiot, I don't know if it was transgender or whatever it was. She was like, well, I don't want my rights taken away. The hell are you talking about?
What rights are we?
And he's like, what rights? She goes, well, my right to be gay. Well, there's no such thing.
You can be gay.
Yeah.
You can be gay all you want.
Yeah.
No one said you couldn't be. Well, I don't want Trump taking my rights away. Where? When's he ever said that?
Never.
Ever.
You know what? They're so infantile when it comes to politics and when it comes to these
I want him
policies.
to pull it up and show me
They
where he
can't.
said he's going to take your rights away.
They heard it somewhere, CNN or something.
Plus, then
And
he's going to pass a national abortion ban. He said that over and over again, right?
I've never heard it.
No, never. He said he wouldn't.
Or
wouldn't.
he doesn't support IVF. Why wouldn't he?
He supports IVF. He said that many times.
he said he wants more babies.
I see the commercial on TV all the time.
More
More
white
American babies are good. More,
What is this idiot woman saying? She's like, her campaign, her videos make no sense. He's rich and I'm middle class. No.
I don't even care about that. What are you going to do? He's done this. He's he's got a track record. This is the thing, is that this is not like another election where you have two people coming in from the outside and running. You have one guy who's already been on the job, and he's been in the news ever since then. He's been attacked in every possible way, and somebody said today, he goes, oh, when did ever political thing make the most difference as a musical concert? I go, Trump getting shot in front of all those people, millions of people watching. That was a big deal, right?
Almost twice being assassinated.
I know.
But that's okay.
All right, we got to go to a short break. Stick around. We're going to be right back with some presidential polls and women's basketball. You're not going to want to miss this.
The Cali Key removes your AR from the definition of an assault weapon and lets you keep your rifle with all its features
avoid registration hassles, and transport in hostile jurisdictions. The Cali Key also lets you hunt in jurisdictions like Pennsylvania and enhances long-range precision shooting. Cali Key's expert legal opinions empower informed decisions, and sales help grassroots Second Amendment organizations. Cali Key is your tool to keep and equip your AR, empower yourself, and defend your civil rights.
Our founding fathers saw them coming over 200 years away. That's why they wrote the Second Amendment. Join us in the fight to preserve your gun rights and stop unconstitutional gun control. Gun Owners of America is the country's only no-compromise gun rights organization. Not only do we inform and educate, but we bring the fight to court and win. Your God-given right to keep and bear arms is our top priority. Become a member today and help us take back America. Join us at gunowners.org. All right, where were we?
Trump assassinations.
Oh, go ahead.
You want to talk? No, it's amazing when you see now. Just imagine for a second if a crazy Republican tried to assassinate Kamala Harris twice.
Right.
Just think about that for a
They'd
second.
elect her queen.
Well, number one, what would happen is the media would do a full-on assault of Republicans and conservatives.
But see, Republicans aren't stupid like left-wing nut jobs to go out and try and assassinate a president. We got better things to do, like go to work.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like, seriously. Like, and the liberals could care less that he's been almost attempted twice. They don't even care.
No.
Doesn't matter to them. And some of them laugh about it. I'm like, that's somebody's father, grandfather.
Right, and that was brought up.
Like, what the hell's wrong with you people?
Did you watch Robert F. Kennedy on Jordan Peterson the other day, his podcast? And Kennedy was going through, it's just amazing that, I've lived in a family where two of my relatives were killed over this kind of stuff. And it's like, how is that not important? How is that not like one of the first things we talk about when we're looking at the big picture of what's going on here? It's unprecedented, right?
I saw that. I know. It's like a lot of the stuff that should be talk of the world, talk of the planet, it gets brushed under the rug.
But it would be if the roles were reversed.
Yeah.
Right.
If someone tried to take out the idiot, it would be on every broadcast across the world.
Yeah.
If they found a shooter on the beach when Joe Biden was out there, it would be
It'd be chaos.
End of the world.
It'd be the end of the world.
Yeah.
Because leftists are psycho crazy people.
Yeah.
They really are. They're psycho, mentally ill people.
They're bad.
I do think a lot of them are mentally ill with Trump derangement syndrome. I think the media really got to them and really helped them foster this a sense of a real hatred, a real internal hatred.
And that got transferred on to people like us because they think we're in a cult and we're all doing whatever Trump says we're going to do. And it's totally opposite of that, right?
Yeah.
Because we would condemn Trump. If he did something that I thought was wrong, I'd be right up his
I
butt
do
behind it.
condemn him on one thing gun-related when he said take the guns and figure it out later. No, you don't take the guns and figure it out later. So a lot of people in the Second Amendment advocacy community, gun community, said, whoa, this is not what we want. And everybody let him have it. And he got it good. He got the feedback on that. And he got back with the NRA. And I think somebody pulled him in the back room and said, you got to understand the Second Amendment. You don't do that. And Trump has been, with respect to the Second Amendment, he's been perfect since then. So
That's like saying, shoot them all and let God figure it out, sort them out
Yeah.
later, right? You don't do that.
So, I mean, but the point is, we do hold our people accountable, like you're saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They don't hold any other people accountable because they believe everything the idiots tell them.
Yeah.
Now, if we were as crazy as the left-wing psychos were, then we'd be out taking people out for trying to attempt to kill Trump. Are we doing that?
Yeah.
No.
Burning cities.
Are we burning cities down? No.
Well, another thing is, I was with someone and we were driving and we saw a Harris Walls sign. And the person I was driving with, he said, boy, I'd like to run that sign over. And we had a conversation about it. And we said, yeah, I would too. but we would never do that.
Never do it.
We
I
would
thought about
never.
I saw one
do
on the
that.
way. I go, boy, even not a little shotgun and go boom right through the middle of that sign. But that would be a bad thing.
But we would never do
right,
it.
never.
No.
But when a Trump sign is out there, the lefties come out. They're taking them. They're stealing them. They're tearing them up.
sir.
They're spray painting them. They're
Talk about fear.
Well, because they have no repercussion. That's why. They know they're not going to get in trouble for doing it. Unless somebody comes out and beats the hell out of them. And then that guy's in trouble.
They electrify their Trump signs.
That's
I saw
right.
that one. That was funny.
Like I said, I just think they're all mentally ill. And they just don't know it. I mean, with one guy, I saw a video of a guy who called himself puppy gay. He thinks he's a gay
I'm a gay pup.
I'm a gay puppy. What the hell are you talking about? Listen, moron, if you're doing this for attention, you're an idiot. I mean, what are you doing?
I think a lot of this tranny stuff is for attention. You see Magic Johnson's son? Well, oh God,
Really?
I wish I had that.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Maybe.
Marlon Wayne's son is a girl now, and he's upset with everybody. I'm just like, dude,
God.
just shut the hell up and live your life, dude. Nobody cares,
And it goes-
They really don't.
It goes back to the thing, like, okay, if you feel like you're not a man and you're more like a woman, these people are crazy because they're willing to chop off body parts and completely change their physiology.
But you're still what you are. In the end.
Exactly. They're never really
you're
going to be
dust.
happy and comfortable.
When you're dust and someone digs you up and tests your DNA, you're still a boy or a girl.
But not only that, they won't do the easy route, which is if you're a man and you're feeling that way and you want to feel normal, why don't you get on a testosterone regimen and build your testosterone so you feel more like you belong in your body, rather than changing your body?
Because you can't go back.
You can't go back.
Right. And
Doesn't
that's
it
been
make more
happening a lot.
sense? I think John, you and I
have
had
to
this
recognize
conversation.
it as mental
It's a mental illness.
illness.
Absolutely
whatever
a mental illness. And I don't care what anybody
20
says.
years ago, it would have been mental illness.
Yeah.
It's still mental illness. We just don't address the mental illness. We coddle it.
No.
Like we got people in school who actually think they're cats and dogs, and they go to school and they have litter
Furbies.
boxes. What the hell is wrong with you people?
Yep.
You're allowing this sick
Right.
individual to act like they're a dog and piss in a litter box in a public school. Like seriously, think about that.
If that ever happened in my school when I was growing
Oh,
up,
you would have got pummeled.
the kid would have gotten beat the hell out of,
He would have been done.
and he would have been saying, "I'm not a cat anymore."
Good argument for school vouchers, right? And personal savings, education savings account.
saw a
Send
video of a
kid where you
woman-
want to send them and get them out of these stupid
I saw a
schools.
video of a woman complaining that someone called animal control on her son who thinks he's a cat because he peed in a litter box at school. And she's upset about it. But
Hey, you wanted to be a cat?
you want to be. What is wrong? Like, seriously.
Time to go to the vet.
What is wrong with these people?
I don't think we're ever going to be able to answer that question. I don't know if we can really. Us three, we're not psychologists. We're not psychiatrists. I don't think we can really answer that question.
And
Where
again,
are
we
these
don't
people?
really care. But if they're allowing it in public schools, I
Yeah.
mean, this is the problem. I had a discussion the other day with somebody. Well, how about this? How about that? I go, look at the graduation rates in schools. These schools are failing all over the country.
Oh, yeah.
They're spending more money. They're having less. People can't read. People can't do math. That's what we should be caring
They're
about.
too busy
all
teaching
this coddling stuff is like
Garbage. Brainwashing garbage. Like
Send
when
the
we went
kid
to
to
school, we
camp,
had shop,
you know?
we had home ec, we had sex education, we have all this stuff. They have none of that anymore.
Do they still do shop?
Nothing. These idiots don't know. They can't even change a diaper.
Let alone make. We used to make gun racks and stuff in school.
Like
That's
we used
how
to
old
be
I
able to
am.
change tires and,
Change
and
tires,
oil
yeah,
and make bread and whatever. These idiots couldn't do. They can't do anything themselves. They can't. But I identify as a dog.
Well, again, they're all worried about it's identity politics. It's trickled down to everybody's own identity is what matters. That's what matters.
And people playing into it, you're playing into their mental illness. You're teaching them that it's okay to be crazy in the head and think that you're something that you're not.
And worse than that, the thinking that other people have to acknowledge that and,
Right? Then
and
I have
act
to
differently because
I
you
have
think
to
they
pet
should.
you like a dog because you think you're a dog. How about I kick you in the ass and kick you on your way? How's that? How would that be okay?
I want to ask our producer, Danny Wass Jr. He's closer to the high school age than we are. Can you get on the microphone and answer a question?
Okay.
in school, now you're 25 going on 26 years old. In school, did you have any shop classes like metal shop, wood shop, auto mechanics?
Yeah, we had a one wood shop class, I want to say in like middle school.
In middle school, you had one wood shop class. Okay.
Yeah, nothing in high school though.
So in high school, I had mechanical drawing, wood shop, metal shop where we would weld. We actually welded when I was, and then auto mechanics. We'd go to another school for a BOCES auto mechanics course, and we'd change spark plugs and do all sorts of stuff with cars. I remember siphoning gas out of an old like 53 Buick.
I got really good
throwing
at that.
up. It was awful.
I got really good at that back in the gas crisis. Things
You sent the video of the woman putting washer fluid into her oil.
Oh God!
These are the stupid people that don't know any better. They don't know anything about their car.
I had to put stupid warning labels on cars like "Don't drink the battery acid" and stuff, and
Right.
crazy things like that.
Don't drink the blue stuff. It's not Kool-Aid.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
People
All
are,
We got way off track. Let me get to some polls because I know people, we're getting real close to the election. Quinnipiac has Trump at 50 and Harris at 45. That's really good. That's in Georgia. North Carolina, Trump 49, Harris 48. Arizona, these are the battleground states first. Arizona, Trump 49, Harris 48. Nevada, Harris 48, Trump 49. Okay. North Carolina, Trump 50, Harris 48. There's another one here. Oh, these are different polls. I should have said that. There was Quinnipiac. There was Insider Advantage, Washington Post. Here's another Insider Advantage. Has Trump at 48, Harris at 48 in Georgia. Pennsylvania, Fabrizio Anzalone poll is Trump 47, Harris 50. So why is that one so? That's quite a spread there in Harris's favor for Pennsylvania. But most of these are showing Trump is up. New York Post has Harris at 51 and Trump at 47. So
Where is that?
That's national. That's the national one. Of course, Harris are gonna. New York Post is New York Post.
New York Post is a
right-wing Arizona. Okay, so New York Post national says Harris is at 51 and Trump at 47. Okay, so that's concerning. We should be concerned with that. There's also this other article that I had from Breitbart. Trump increases his lead over Harris in North Carolina. So with a presidential race this close, the smallest movement in the polling feels seismic. In this particular North Carolina poll, former President Trump led by a single point last month. Today, he leads by 2 points. And it says Real Clear Politics average. North Carolina says Trump leads by 0.6 points. However, in 2016, on this same day, Trump led Hillary by an average of 0.03. So he's a little bit further. I don't know.
I think the New York Post is a little off on their.
Plus, I mean, it's pretty well known that Trump supporters often don't cooperate with the pollsters.
Yeah.
They don't answer accurately on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to, first of all, I mean, if it comes right down to it, you don't want to give people some false sense of security. Like you don't have to go out and vote because we're way ahead. That's
Right.
the last thing you want to do. So you
Right,
want to
right.
keep it close, regardless of what side you're on.
Well, this says looking at the overall polling during the weekend and today. So when people should know, we're recording. You're not going to see this for a couple of days. We recorded this a couple of days prior. People on TikTok right now are watching it live, but if you're watching it on YouTube or Rumble or any of those, we're a couple days late here. So, but it says Trump has a little wind at his back. Of the 11 most recent polls out of Pennsylvania, the state could very well decide the election. Harris has only led in 1. So Trump has led in 4. 6 are tied, which is pretty incredible. So anyway.
I don't believe that. This idiot woman who polls almost next to 0 is neck and neck with somebody. It's just, I don't know.
And that's another point I was making with somebody today. They're talking about difference between the two and what they like and what they don't like. And I'm like, your party gave you a candidate that nobody wanted 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Didn't even ask
Right.
you.
Didn't
You're
ask you.
voting for this person, and you're just buying it.
But now all of a sudden she's hot rodded.
Ah.
Come on. Yeah, I don't believe it. I think the polls are a joke, and I think they're trying to deter people from voting. Vote early. I'm voting early. Everyone get out and vote early.
Yeah, I agree. You
Don't-
want to know who's fighting for your gun rights? Gun Owners of America. GOA is the no compromise gun rights group. I urge you to become a member at gunowners.org. What have they done? Well, GOA secured a preliminary injunction against the ATF pistol brace rule. GOA members submitted a record 85,000 plus comments opposing the ATF's universal registration check rule. They helped enact permitless carry in Nebraska and Florida. GOA secured victories in California, Illinois, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Plus, they won 2 legal victories against the ATF zero tolerance policy. And GOA fought to overturn Joe Biden's ban on funding hunter education, shooting sports, and archery in schools. So with the constant attacks on our Second Amendment, we often ask ourselves, well, what can I do about it? And this is what you can do. You can become a member at gunowners.org and help us save the Second Amendment. So the
That was very Ben Shapiro-like, Dan, when you slipped right into that commercial like that.
Oh, was
good.
it?
Yeah, very much.
good. I like Ben. I like watching Ben. Ben's great. I think with conservative talk and conservative shows like this, I think there are so many of them. It's a great thing when you think about it. Conservative talk shows and are
I
popping
just
up
saw
everywhere.
Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens are putting together a daytime TV show.
Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
You know, Megyn Kelly was I really didn't like her after that one debate where she kind of was not very honest with Trump and kind of
She's
gave him
from
some
here,
gotchas
too,
and
right?
stuff. But I'm starting to like her again. I think she's doing
Well,
some good
Candace
stuff.
kind of flipped out a couple weeks ago on the whole.
What happened with Candace?
Israel
I don't
thing. I don't know what was going on. It was pretty disturbing watching it. She's always been hyper and wacky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, so we'll see what that. But I mean, whatever. Anything at this point is, I mean,
I don't even know what she
because
did.
They're women. She was just talking about anti-Israel stuff, and Shapiro was all over her about it.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's.
Well, they have some sort of dispute, right?
Oh yeah, because she was part of that Daily
Yeah.
Wire and then left, so something must have happened. I think it was over that kind of an issue that he just wasn't seeing eye to eye with her, so
Huh.
probably decided to part ways.
Well, there's some good news in the world. This is from Daily Wire, as a matter of fact. The Boise State women's volleyball forfeits a game to protect players from a trans opponent. Says the safety of Idaho's female athletes is paramount to the appeasement of a woke agenda, said Senator Mike Crapo, is a Republican from, looks like, Idaho. The Boise State women's volleyball team announced on Friday that it would forfeit its match over the weekend against San Jose State. Boise State volleyball will not play its scheduled match at San Jose State on Saturday, September 28th, the team said in a statement. Per Mountain West Conference policy, the conference will record the match as a forfeit and a loss for Boise State. The team, 8-5 overall and 0-1 in the Mountain West Conference, will play their next game against Air Force on October 3rd. Outkick sports reporter David Hookstead said that sources told him that the team forfeited the game because the team's best player is a male. Sources close to the situation tell me the players have the complete support of the school, coaches, and parents, he added. So if this is what they got to do, I guess they got to lose games, forfeit games, to not capitulate to the woke agenda.
Something's got to happen, right? Got to draw the line somewhere. Feel bad for the kids, but
Yeah, now they got a forfeiture on their record. That sucks. But I don't know. That's what you got to. If they all did that, that would solve the problem.
right. But that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't keep that much. I don't pay that close attention to the women's sports thing, but there's probably a lot of that going on around the country, I would assume, right? There must be people saying, no, we're not going to do this.
Well, if the tranny stuff is given one good thing to women's sports, it's given them a little more
Right.
notoriety or recognition.
WNBA.
Yeah, I like that Caitlyn girl. I think she's pretty cool. Who's the one who was arrested in Russia? What's his name? The female basketball player. What's his name?
Garner.
Yeah,
right?
Brittany Garner.
Brittany.
He's all upset now that people are being racist to him while he's playing basketball on the girls' team.
What?
Aren't most of the basketball players black anyway? How can you? I think he's pulling another Juicy Smollett. Juicy. Anyway, that Brittany guy is. Did you see him without a shirt on? See that picture?
Yeah.
Some of that.
They fall for it.
How are we supposed to pretend some of this stuff? And then you hear him talk. How you doing? It's got this deep voice, you know?
Yeah.
How are we supposed to? Why are we supposed to pretend anymore? I don't understand.
Because that's a pathetic world we live in. We let people do whatever they want.
You can do whatever you want. I'm just not going to play along.
Shower in the girls' room with your swing.
What's up with that? That's terrible. Traumatic young things going on in the girls' locker room. I think girls should be scarred for life.
Oh, my God. All right. Before we run out of time, I want to get to something else. Kamala, let's get back to whose girl is she?
Kamala.
Kathy Hochul's your girl.
Yeah, that's his girl.
Kamala's John's
girl. We're gonna give him the.
I guess I'll take her.
We're gonna give him the fake.
Well, Kamala needs young voters, but the problem is that she insults them in public. Did you see this?
Yeah, but they're too stupid. They'll still vote for her.
But only until she needs their votes, and then she praises them. We have a clip. Watch this.
I love you guys. You are so smart. You are not patient. You are just ready to lead.
Loving
and
them
I'm
right
counting
now.
on you guys. I really am. So we're doing this together,
Look
right?
at this idiot smiling.
What's the other thing
Look at
we
him.
know about this population? And it's a specific phase of life. Remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories. And they have a resident assistant. They make really bad.
All right.
So,
what the hell does dormitories have?
do we have our
anything
knuckle?
to do?
Do we have the knuckle sandwich clip ready? Because I hope we're ready with that knuckle sandwich clip. Because I want to give a knuckle sandwich to these 18 and 24-year-olds who may be considering casting your vote for Kamala because you deserve a knuckle sandwich.
Knuckle sandwich.
But they'll still vote for her because they're stupid. She said it perfectly. They're stupid.
They're stupid.
They're gonna sit there and smile in front of her as she insults them. She could insult them right there. You're a dummy, but I'm gonna need your vote.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, because I hate Trump.
Thanks.
That's all
Yep.
that matters.
That's all.
right?
That's all they need.
They're over the hump.
Yep. That's all it is.
That's all they need.
I hate Trump. They used to love him when he was a Democrat.
They'll vote. They'd
Oprah.
vote for Hitler.
Oh, they would.
Just to avoid.
Oh, if he was resurrected today and he was running for office, they'd vote for him.
Unbelievable.
I don't like Trump.
He is a socialist.
I don't like him.
Hitler was a socialist. Yeah.
He hurt my
Trump, too.
feelings.
Socialist.
I don't care
Ask
if
Mark
America
Cuban,
goes
he'll tell
down.
you.
Mark Cuban.
What's up with Mark Cuban?
Yeah, good question. I don't know. We're back on Mark Cuban. It's too bad. I liked the guy. I used to like him.
At one time thought about running, correct? For president?
I think there was some talk.
Yeah. And then he decided not to. So now he's just being an idiot. I don't understand. Maybe he thinks he can get away with it without any consequences, I guess.
Well, he's making a lot of enemies right now. You would think that you wouldn't want to isolate half the population and basically call them stupid. If you're in Mark Cuban's position, I don't mind isolating liberals because I do think they're crazy. But in his situation, why would you
Make any sense? Well, and one last thing that makes me think of is that, talking about Scott Adams talks about the Trump pirate ship. He's got Elon Musk, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
It's got all these smart people that are out ready to do stuff. I mean, that are abandoning what they grew up on. A lot of these people, because the left, and I even had a local person.
Tulsi was a lefty.
Big time. Local person told me, he goes, well, I was a big, complete lefty until they started losing their minds. And I'm like, good, thank you for noticing,
Yeah. Some people do wake up, but not most.
But that stuff like that, I mean, if he gets Musk in there looking around and seeing what kind of waste we can get rid of. The national debt's a gigantic problem, and nobody's talking about it. She's talking about spending like, what, $4 trillion in deficit or something with all this stuff. She wants to give away money, give away money, give away money. I'm like, where's it coming from?
Well, yeah, but the liberals don't believe that. They think everything's free. Just give me whatever I need. I'm good.
Well, it also might feed into their mission, the world order mission, to get off American currency and get onto a digital currency.
Right, that's what we need.
So completely destroy the economy, and then you have to start from scratch, and everybody gets a handout to start off, or something like. Imagine that.
One shilling.
Your money's wiped out, and they give you, let's say, a value of $10,000 in your bank account in digital currency. You got to start over.
New world order.
If they did that, all the people that they hate that are in charge now are still going to end up in charge. It's just going to be unfair to everybody else.
Yeah.
Totally ignoring liberty. It just kills me. It's just people talk
It's
about
a generational mental disease. These kids today have no idea. Like, they just don't. I don't know. The liberals are just. They just can't think for themselves. It's sad, man. Just sad. Sad they don't see what they're destroying. They don't.
Well, I think we should probably be lucky that we didn't fall prey to that media, because that could have happened to us too.
Well, and you have to, and this is another point I keep making to people. I said, you got to keep tuning your BS filters when you're watching this stuff. You just can't, because they come, well, how come this and how come that? And big point. Because they are technically more in a cult than we are, they're just following what people are telling them to do. But they don't have any equations for anything. They don't have anything to plug stuff into and say, is this real? Is this good? Is this bad? They just look at the content. I get yelled at so often. You're ignoring the content. I go, your way of looking at the world is like trying to do math without any equations. You're just looking at numbers and thinking you know how to do math, but you don't have any cause and effect. You don't have any accountability. You don't have any responsibility. You got nothing that goes into actually making things work, and you think you're an expert, and you think I'm a bad guy because I'm questioning what you're saying. It's like, it's bizarre, right? It's completely upside down from the way it was. I don't even understand.
Well, and the data that they have through articles and publications is media that's created and spun off false stories. So you could have 100 articles saying something that's completely untrue, but it all came from one source. Just like Hillary did with the Russian collusion and all that stuff, the dossier and all that stuff.
It's one big scam, and then you're off and running.
And they're off and running. So, wow, great show. Thanks, guys. And thank you for watching. If you're watching live on TikTok, we'll see you next week. And if you're watching on any of our other networks, thank you. And you can find us on Rumble and YouTube and any podcast platform out there. We get the podcast version to you, so you can just listen to the show if you're driving in the car. My name is Dan Wass, and remember, the Second Amendment is not a privilege; it's your right